Good morning, all. I'm here with my new friend, Boba Tea. Boba, say hello.
Hello.
There we go. So he's really here. He's really. We're going to go through his account, have a look. This is proper same season whale territory. Not quite the Blackstone level, but not far off. Just going to talk to you about what you've done with your account, if that's all right, and what your plans are for the future.
Love it.
Fantastic. We'll get right into it. We're back. Boba, thank you again for agreeing to speak to me or with me even. I'm just looking at your thing here. So you obviously you do quite a lot of YouTube yourself, don't you? And you are a god at editing.
I mean, people tell me I'm a god at editing. I'm gonna be honest. I don't have anything fancy I'm using to edit. I just take a long time to edit. But yeah, I mean, mainly just update videos on like the kingdom, KVK, my account. I don't do any guides. I haven't entered that realm quite yet. I think I've made like general recommendation and advice throughout my videos, but nothing like dedicated vibe guides. But yeah, I do a bit of YouTube.
That's cool. Well, obviously, I'll put your link in the description. I'm going to put a link to your. I loved your video about being like the problems of being an early kingdom, early
Mhm.
game tier 5. I thought that was fantastic. So why don't you give us a bit of an intro? So you are very early tier 5, right?
Yeah. So KVK2 currently, we can zoom out on the map so you guys get a more of a feel, but we have pass 5 opening actually coming up on the 13th at my time. It's going to be like 6:30 in the morning, but it's like 13:40 UTC. Um so super excited with that because we actually didn't get any fighting at all
Yeah,
in
Seth was
the
telling me
first zone.
you've just been watching other people fight and being jealous, basically. Yeah.
We have, unfortunately. So it's been rather just an extension of off season is what it feels like. But we're just in the KVK map and we get the toxicity of Lost Kingdom chat.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? So you're in KVK 2
That's
here,
great. Yes,
and it's
correct.
3470 if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Fantastic. So would you mind showing us through your account? So how old's your account? We see the big 90 odd million power. So obviously you haven't been fighting this KVK.
Yeah. um
193 days with VIP 17. That's a big boy account, isn't it?
yeah. Yeah, 193 days. I didn't start in 3470. I actually started in 3464, and the plan was to have a big account, and I got recruited to 70. I actually meant to go to, I think I've told this many a times, but I actually meant to go to 73, because the king of 73 I was in a previous kingdom with, and he was doing a jumper project, and I wanted an opportunity to like properly restart, have a big boy
Mm.
account, and I miscalculated doing a sleeper, and I could not migrate because my account was, I think, like 14 hours older
Oh,
than
that's
73's
painful.
destination kingdom. Yeah, so I got recruited to 70, and then I've just been here since.
Oh, cool. So you're with big boy Seth, aren't you? The king de facto of 70. Good guy. Really
Yeah.
really love Seth. And so you're on VIP 70. What are your marches like at the moment?
So marches, at least what I'm planning to run in the open field, is I feel confident in running 3 marches, be at least against the cross seasons. If
That's
we
pretty good
the
for
fighting's
same season. 3 marches in
yeah,
there.
if we get some like actual fighting, then or like if the fighting's easy, I'll probably go with 5 marches and just eat the cost of
Mm.
resources and speed ups. But currently 3 marches I've selected. We'll see how much I actually stick with them. But thinking we're doing like LCID, YSG. LCID I have at 5553, so he's pretty close to expertise, but he's not quite there. A lot of sculptures to get him to expertise. I'm
Yeah.
not doing gold heads
Yeah,
for
I
it.
don't blame you for that. He falls off so quickly, right?
Yeah. And then I have Martel, Sun Tzu, just as an all around great infantry march. Sun Tzu just giving infantry stats and a rage engine. And then Minamoto Mehmed. Mehmed's only 5511,
That's
so I
good
may
enough.
swap him out for an expertise Ethelfled or an expertise Baybars, whichever. I'm willing to like try different marches effectively to see which one's going to perform better. And then if I'm gonna be a little reckless and run 5 marches, I'll probably split up these a little more just because I think YSG just having a full committed like El Cid YSG would probably do a lot more damage with another march than El Cid, so I'd probably
Hmm.
swap some commanders around.
So would I be correct in assuming you've got a load of gold heads ready for Season of Conquest?
Oh, I mean, it's not a load. I will say it's a load, and that was one of the things I actually talked about in that video, which was um the problem of being a T5 player
Yep.
in KVK1 is the gold head investment that you're essentially almost
You're
not
You
forced
kind of
to,
are forced though.
but
Everyone's sitting there. You can't be like turning up with buy bars when everyone's like, okay, buy
yeah,
bars is a bad example because you can buy Minamoto, but like not having
right,
Richard
right,
is terrible in KVK1 if you're a massive whale. I felt.
totally, totally. Well, and it was more so the role of being a rallying garrison lead for cavalry. That was my role. However, I was also a backup infantry, and so it was kind of, again, it's not like they're telling you have to do it, but it's almost like you're expected to, so you do feel like it is a requirement. So I did expertise YSG a minute after I unlocked him. I didn't even wait to do like the wheel and like max spin the wheel. I just went ahead and expertised him because at that point, because I was going to be a rally and garrison lead for cavalry and then backup for infantry, was I want to save all these gems, even though I'm getting a ton of them. I want to save all these for completely maxing out every single equipment event. So like
Yep.
Dalrooks, which I know is not great for gems, I would max that every time.
It's still, I
Big
don't know.
event,
I've come around to the way of thinking that gems should be spent on equipment. 100 like
yeah,
end of. That's it.
yeah, totally.
Doesn't matter
And
if
so
it's the
I
Esmeraldas,
expertised it.
Dalrooks, the wheel. Sorry, not the wheel. The egg events. Hunt for history. Just smash your gems on it.
Yeah,
So your
totally.
your equipment must be pretty good then.
I do have I think my equipment's pretty nice. Again, it was mainly a big focus on cavalry, so this is my cavalry set
Nice.
currently, which I'm pretty happy with. A lot
Yep.
of iconics on this. I didn't really spread it around, but again, as since I was doing cavalry main type things for KVK1 for the kingdom, a lot of the resources and everything went into here and then moved it over to infantry, which this is my infantry set. Um,
Pretty nice.
I don't
And
really have.
you've got the Karak still, and I guess you don't need to upgrade
Yes.
that to the Eternal Knight for a long time.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thought is this is pretty much like I'm not going to touch this for a while. And so largely I've been working on my archer set, which the only thing really for the archer set right now is I do want the two-piece set bonus from the leadership
Oh, okay. I
boots
didn't
and
notice those
pants.
boots there. So you're going for the pants, the goddess pants with the 8% or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. So doing that, and then I think I actually talked, funnily enough, I talked with bus driver like 2 or 3 days ago about my equipment set because I was curious. Just as like we didn't do another coaching session, he already did that, but it was just like a friendly, hey, just have some questions about
Yeah.
what you think I should do next, and he told me don't touch the helmet. Like at this point, he thinks I should be saving for accessories, and
Yeah,
so
I think
it
so
was
too.
like, yep, totally. I think accessories would be a good call.
My,
So
my big mistake
once
is
I
I always wait too long for accessories, and
yeah,
I was pleased to see that your Minamoto and your Martel had accessories on them. Obviously, only the purple ones, but you don't need the drum and
yeah,
shit now. You just save for the big boy ones eventually.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
How are your armors? Do you spend on the armaments bundle? I always ask people this,
I
and curious.
I I have. I think. I mean, in the beginning, we didn't have. Right now, we have the like imperial armaments, but for the longest time, we actually this wasn't coming around. What, every 2 weeks?
Yeah,
I
it
think,
was
as far
quite
as I
rare, wasn't
understand
it?
it. Yeah, so Royal Armaments is the only one. It stops at silver chest. And I think I did like a week straight of just getting this fully every single day. And then probably more than that, probably more than just a week, but that's what I
That's how
recall.
you tell you. So,
Um,
did you get anything good
yeah.
from it?
Oh, like no.
Yeah, that's pretty much what everyone
It hurt.
tells me.
It hurt so much because it was like, all right, let's do it. Day 5. Let's see what we get, and then I'd open it and be like, wow, this is hot garbage.
Yep.
So I'm a glutton for punishment. So um, I like to do things typically last minute. What I've found with like getting anything like this, like Royal Armaments or Pure Armaments, just because sometimes they do have, the events where it's the recharge events.
Yeah.
So I like to wait until the very last moment. So I'll probably get this over the weekend, right before reset, just because I'm a glutton for pain and I
I
want to
was
see
about
how
to
much I can
say
hurt myself.
one time, but I think it's somewhat improved now. They've added the mechanic where you basically get the pity legendary stuff.
Yeah.
So if you spend
Yeah.
enough, you do unlock excellent armaments. But enough is work out how many gold chests you need for that. I think it's 2,000, which is a lot of money.
Yeah. Oh man, it's so many.
But on the subject
It
of
hurts.
lot of money, of course, playing Rock's a lot cheaper if you buy a cross-season account, bring it back. Did you ever think to do that? Have you? Because I've never wanted to do that, but I know that so many people do it as a priority, and it is a lot cheaper. I think it's
Yeah.
cheating in a way, even though we spend money and that's cheating as well. But I would rather do this. Have you ever wavered in your desire to do this?
I've definitely considered it. Like I think it's silly to ignore the fact that there is that kind of secondary market out there. It is against, as far as I understand, terms of service
Hmm.
for it. But like it exists. It's out there. And I'm sure Lilith knows it's out there, but I have like thought about it or considered it, but for me personally, I grew up playing World of Warcraft and like really grindy type
Yeah.
games, and
Yes.
so I love the grind. Like if there's something for me to achieve and it's going to take a long time, I'm okay with that. I enjoy having to put in that time to get it, whatever it is. And so um transition to like Rise of Kingdoms, you have barb chaining, you have the long-term development of your equipment and your commanders and just hoarding things, collecting things. And so I really enjoy that aspect of the game. So yes, I have thought about it. But also just like I really enjoy taking things from like square one and building it up because I think there's more pride in it. And
Yes.
to me there's also you just the value you get from building something, I think, is way more than just buying something, which is kind of ironic, if you will. Um, but like buying something to accelerate yourself to the point where like you're a menace on the field, right after you log in is one thing. But purchasing and buying things that way you can get ahead to get to that point is to me it is a little bit different in my mind because this game really punishes you after a certain point. There's a curve to your overall growth,
Hmm.
and um like buying things accelerates that curve or gives you a you know steeper curve for it, but after a point it's diminishing returns.
I completely agree. You get to a point you're like, why would I pay anything? Like maybe the daily
Yeah.
bundle's pretty good. Like why am I maybe geared up to a very expensive good thing? But I don't need 10 gold heads for £200. Doesn't do
Yeah.
anything for me. Whereas at the beginning,
Exactly.
it's so much a fantastic answer, by the way. I completely agree. I love the pride you get from grinding your own way through it. Have you got any Zenith skins? I was going to ask because that's kind of an early game achievement. Just
Yeah.
same season lads.
Yeah, I did get it's funny because I actually told people I wasn't gonna go for it. I did end
Oh,
up
you got
getting
the
the
you got the
Archer
big
health
boy
skin.
archer.
I did, yeah. And I was like, I kept a bead on the region that I assumed we were in. And I like looked at all the kingdoms and I took note of pretty much all the accounts. And I think at that point I considered every account that was about 25 million to be potential competition because they could just be waiting to push for T5. And so I think when I did that across our region, it was something like 50 or 60 players that met that condition right before Zenith. And so I was like, okay, so that's something. They could probably put like if they've been hoarding their speed ups, their resources, they might be able to do it. And so I made the decision because pre KVK was actually before Zenith, and so I was like, I want first place pre KVK,
Hmm.
and so I got first place pre KVK by a large margin. I overtrained for that. I think second place, first place me was like 30 something million, and second place was like 18 million. So I blew the competition out the water. Like I over I overtrained. But then it was like, okay, so that's like all my training speed ups. I held on to my universals and whatnot for healing for the upcoming KVK. And then we get into KVK, Zenith comes up, and I don't remember the time difference between Zenith and pre KVK, but somehow I had accumulated a ton of speeds. I know how I accumulated a ton of speeds. I say somehow. I know how I accumulated them.
Did it involve a
Um
wallet?
yeah. And I was like looking at the competition after like the first day or two. I can't remember how long Zenith run. I think it's 4 days is the Zenith timeline. It's either 4 or 3.
Yeah, I
And
can't remember.
e- either way, I was looking at the competition. I was like, I think I can do it. Like I think I can do it really easily.
What was the
And
amount you had to do?
so I want to say that 10th place was like 15 million.
Oh, that's really
Somewhere.
quite low for an early game kingdom.
Yeah, it was surprisingly low. First place I think was 30 million. And I think I got fourth place and it was around 23 million is how much I pushed. So um like I did end up getting the skin, so I'm super happy about that. I don't think I think it's a little out of my range for this next upcoming Zenith skin. I would love it.
Oh, the defense
The
one,
uni
yeah, yeah, the defense. I
yeah,
imagine
the
players like you would benefit so much from that with such great sets across everything.
I want it, but I don't think I'll be able to acquire it. Looking at the now cross season and region, I'll keep an eye on it. I always do. If I think I can do it, I will 100% go for it. Um, but currently, from what I've talked to with other players who are interested in the skin, is they have way more speeds than me, and it won't be as much of an impact on them if they push for it as compared to
How many
myself.
speeds?
And
How many years worth do you have at the moment?
I have about 3 years.
Okay, so you'd have to put the hand in the pocket. So just
Yeah, yeah. Which I totally could, but currently, again, there's not. The thing is there's just not good enough incentive for me to do it besides the skin, and so you know,
yeah, you're not double
I'll work
bubbling
on it
two
too.
events at the same time, effectively.
Yeah, exactly. So I probably won't go for it. If I see the opening, I'm gonna take it. I will 100% take it. But currently, I think the competition for me this time around is going to be a lot steeper.
Yeah, I sense those. I thought the Archer one would be huge. Apparently
I
not.
thought so too.
Yeah, I thought it.
15% health is insane,
I went for the on the first day. I
especially on
went I
archers.
went 30 million. Bam! Right, that's my move. I'm ready to push if you guys push, and then no one else bothered. Oh, I just wasted everyone's time
Uh,
here, basically. I think I got third in the end without training another troop. Anyway, so you obviously got Kingsland coming up. Is it Kingsland next for you guys?
it is. I think it's past six, or zone 6
Oh,
is
yeah, the
gonna be next.
circle one at Curry is
Yeah.
out of the maps. You got Dim Broker, yeah. So
Yep.
are you going to be a rally lead here, or are you just going to be a strong field player?
I think as far as I understand, gonna be a strong field player. I could definitely shove Martel and YSG into a flag.
Hmm.
Classic YSG Martel, but that might be a train wreck. So
Yeah, I tried
um
garrisoning in a. I was a lot weaker than you were in KVK two, but I still was tier five same season, and my garrisons and rallies did not go well. Let's
yeah.
be honest.
So I probably won't. we have some pretty strong cross seasons that came in, which funnily enough, I meant to do a video on. I never did. Um, but probably not. I mean, going into it, we're actually in a 3v5. It's not a 4v4. So this is Kingdom 79, 34, 79.
Hmm.
70, they're our allies, 79's our allies, and then up here in the top is 72. And this yellow is 68. 68's an Imperium Kingdom. I think 72 technically was just shy of Imperium. But they're not Imperium now. I don't actually. All right, I guess we can look. If 68's still
Oh, good
Imperium,
point. Yeah.
they still are Imperium. But 68 is our only other ally, and then this here is 67, 34, 67, and 34, 67, and 65, as far as I understand, actually didn't want to be in A seed. They were trying to get into B seed, and they ended up having more power than the other people who
Ah.
wanted to be in E seed. But this zone here was the most excitement out of the entire KVK just watching it, because
Was it a proper 2v1?
68, it was a proper 2v1, but 68 actually got practically almost entirely pushed out of this zone. Um and then they were able to retake the entire zone and kick out 67 and 72. I feel bad for 72. Their previous king, he went by the name of Kozak. As far as I understand, he quit.
Sucks.
Like mid KVK, just like a few days ago, last week. And so I don't know if it was, anything personal or health related. I just heard he quit. So I obviously don't want people to stop playing the game because they physically can, or they have
Mm.
to prioritize other things, especially as like a king. But like 72 is having to restructure their entire leadership. So I think that was kind of also part of why 68 was able to ultimately like lock them back into their zone, is they lost their king. Um
You must have been so
but
jealous watching all that from your position of no fighting.
oh, it was so hard. I have clips of it. I'm gonna see if I can channel my inner fruit dealer and do like a whole, KVK video like he's done. So I have clips of them fighting. But yeah, I was like watching it. Oh, I was so jealous. There's so much fun that seemed to be going on. But yeah, 73 is like the big, they're pretty equal to us in power. Kill points wise, we're more than them by, I want to say, like 10 to 20 billion kill
Oh,
points.
so but it's pretty close though.
Yeah, it's pretty close. So they're our main competition. And 65 is kind of that lower A seed kingdom that didn't mean to be an A
Hmm.
seed. 80, they won pre KVK. They had tons of activity actually. But 79, I mean, they got locked back into their zone, but they did a good job of actually working into this zone, and being a nuisance for 80 and 65. So I'm super excited. I'm probably going to be here fighting in a curry. Ooh, alarm. Um, uh, Here in a curry fighting as much as I can. Because I'd like to get my kill points up.
What are they at the moment? I imagine they're pretty good for a KVK one, right?
Yeah, we actually didn't get a whole ton of fighting in KVK1, which is like tragic. I mean, I say that, but I was still able to get 35
I was
million
going to say
kills.
you did all right, to be
Um
honest, man. Look at that.
yeah.
But obviously, you'd
Yeah,
want
I
more
wanted
given the
I
power on your
wanted
account
more.
comparatively. Yeah.
Yeah, wanted more. I wanted more. So my plan is, I think, easily on the docket would be to get to 1 billion kill points. I think I can smash that out easily. Um
Yeah, I think
I
so.
think from there, it's just how much higher I can go. So I think a billion is kind of the minimum I'm shooting for, but from there, pushing more and more.
Fantastic. Well, it looks. I suppose the big question I had for you is what's next? What are you gonna Are you loyal to this kingdom because you've been here from the beginning? Or are you more of the cases like, yeah, I've done my time here. I'm gonna try a different way. I imagine you're probably like myself, a bit very loyal because you grinded from it from the very beginning.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty loyal to the kingdom. I've enjoyed my time here, and it's one of those things where it's like, man, I've made friends here. I'll hop in the like our Discord voice chat when I'm free and chat with others who are in the kingdom and talk with them and just hang out. So like I'm definitely attached to the kingdom. And I've enjoyed my time here. So I know, like, I've gotten recommendations from people where it's like, generally, some people are like, oh, migrate to a younger KVK2
Mm.
kingdom before your KVK2 finishes. That way you can just like get more gold heads. It's like, yeah, no, totally. Like, I understand that. But I just want to get to Season of Conquest as quick as
Yeah, that
possible,
makes
even if I'm
perfect
going to
sense for
be
you.
yeah, even if I'm gonna be hurting with it, because like I just don't have the meta commanders, and it takes time to flesh all those out. That's fine by me. I just want to get there because the rewards are such a higher tier above the early KVKs, that I could care less. I'd rather, keep getting more, keep making more progress on my equipment, having the ability to actually get those KVK or those Season of Conquest commanders. So my plan is to stick it here and just make my way, pending I meet DKP requirements, of course.
Yeah, I suppose that would be a pretty brutal way to end it. Oh, yeah,
There would
we had
be.
to zero Boba. He just didn't bother.
I just didn't bother. I was too busy. I just didn't want
He
to.
just couldn't be asked. Sorry, lads.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna stick it here and keep making my way until we get to Season of Conquest, and then from there, I'm definitely more open to moving about to, maybe a more established kingdom that has just a little bit older leadership, a little bit older players in them, to get guidance from them, because I am a fairly like relatively newer type player to the game. I haven't been here since the beginning. I think we've talked about it in your live stream before, but my very first kingdom was 3032.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Um,
We remember
yeah,
telling me.
so I didn't know what I was doing at all. In that, I played Clash of Clans for a really long time. And so in Clash of Clans, it was a thing where it was like, I don't. Have you ever played Clash of Clans?
Very briefly, so much so I can't. I can
Okay,
remember the mechanics basically.
okay. So in Clash of Clans, a big thing, like almost an insult to tell somebody, is if they had a rushed town hall, right? Because you have, very similar to City Hall here, you have a town hall, and you level this up, you get, you can increase your building levels to that current level
Hmm.
of your town hall or your city hall. Um, but a rush town hall would be if you just only upgraded and built things that, similar to this game, that all you needed to do to upgrade your city hall.
I've got you. Yeah.
It's the complete opposite in Clash of Clans. Like, you want everything max before you upgrade your city hall there. And so that's how I played the game initially. I didn't watch like any YouTube videos on it. I kind of just was playing it. And then I got to KVK 3 or 4 in 3032 on that account, and I was like 22 million power, because I was just slowly playing it. I didn't really know what I was doing. Um, and I had started to watch more YouTube videos and like get more into it. So I tried like field fighting. And it was atrocious.
Yeah.
It was terrible for me. And so that's when I decided, I'm gonna restart. And so I still have that account. It's on this login. But I don't play it. And I made an account in 3324, did that up into KVK2. And then decided that jumper project I initially talked about,
Hmm.
where it's like, we're going to go to 3473. I was like, cool, let's like, I have more knowledge now. I feel ready. Let's do it. Let's reset and go. So then I've been in this account pretty much ever since.
It's a very similar way to how I did it. I basically had a screw up account ages ago, like we're talking 3 years ago. I had no idea what I was doing. I maxed Julius Caesar, as I tell everyone. And I thought, and I wondered why I was useless. Then I came back a couple of years ago and did it again. I was useless again. I was like, you know what? I'm going to spend some time really getting to know this game because I quite like it. And then you pick it up, you're like, oh god, I was hopeless. I had no idea.
Right, right.
Painful, and then you realize that when you,
Hindsight.
yeah, I do think the one good thing you get from paying to be a big same season big player is everything seems to snowball. Like you win all the early events, you get all the right MGEs early on, you establish yourself as a big member of the kingdom, which means you get future MGEs, future nice positions in events. It kind of sets you up very well. Whereas if you just drop in as a cross season migrant, you haven't really got that connection with
Right,
the one thing.
right.
One thing we've got going for us. Right, before I let you go, because I know it's crazy o'clock for you, I've got two final questions.
Sure.
First one, why Boba Tea? Because I assume that's not your real name.
No, it's not my real name.
It's what you say it
I've
is.
gone by a slew of like online names, screen names, if you will, throughout the years. And I was trying to come up with an account name for this one because you can't have matching account names for names you've already
Hmm.
made or that already exist in the game. And I was trying to think of some kind of inanimate object to give life to, essentially. And I was like, well, I really like boba teas. Like I love the little milk tea with the tapioca pearls. That sounds great. So I'm gonna name myself Boba Tea. Um, and so from there is just Boba Tea. That's how people came to know me. I haven't changed my name since. I think the only thing I've changed is the arrangement of the lettering, because I did actually have it in like lowercase with a space, but I put like accents over the O and the A in
Ah, I
boba,
see.
and I got a lot of people asking me if I was
Vietnamese.
uh yeah, Vietnamese, and it was like I am not. I understand the confusion. And so I was like, I think I need to adjust my name a little so people don't think I'm actually Vietnamese. Because I am not
You
Vietnamese.
don't sound
I
Vietnamese. If you do, you've picked
no.
up the US accent very well, I must say.
Yeah. So I was like, I need to change my name. So I think this is what it's been for a very long time. Sometimes I get the itch to like change it to something silly, like Daddy Boba, or follow like the Chadsky thing with Chiskel's group and
I
do like
quite like the
war.
Chadsky thing, to be honest.
Yeah, do War Daddy Boba. I've thought about that, but then I know this is recognizable to people with the kind of like brand and YouTube I've created. So I don't want to lose this and just put it on another account that I'm not really active on. That way I don't lose the name.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be Boba Tea. But it's just because I love Boba Teas.
That's a very good reason. Mine was very
Yeah.
similar. Why I call myself Greg because my name's Greg, which is less inventive, but it's easier. It's easy to
Right.
remember for me. And
Oh, totally.
fine. I was going. Are you planning to play? Because I'm thinking about doing a few Age of Empires mobile streams. I'm thinking about
Mm.
pick it up, having a go. Have you got any interest in other games like this?
Totally. I have tried Call of Dragons.
Oh,
I do think there is some things from Call of Dragons that Rise of Kingdoms could definitely incorporate that would be like good quality of life or just fresh things for the game. But Call of Dragons itself, I wasn't too into like compared to this kind of like medieval type setting in this game with historic figures, like recognizable
mm,
historic figures. Call of Dragons just didn't scratch that itch with it being like fantasy. There's nothing wrong with fantasy. I love fantasy type things as well, but this Rise of Kingdoms with its setting context I prefer a lot more. So with that being said, definitely have kept my eye on Age of Empires, and I'm excited for it. I pre-registered way back like when it was first announced, and they were like, yeah, we're going to release in August. I remember like forgetting about Age of Empires, looking on the App Store, being like, wait, I thought they were going to release it in August. And then come to find out they postponed it for what, October. So
yeah.
I'm definitely interested in Age of Empires. I'm going to check that game out and probably play that. Because off season gets boring just doing barb forts until you're out of AP.
I completely agree. I think that I'm looking forward to trying Age of Empires.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I've
think
played it a
I'll
lot.
probably handicap myself a little more in that game and just do free to
Yeah,
play
I think so.
just to see if it's free to play friendly. Um
I
devote all my resources to Rise of Kingdoms.
I think we're at this point. You and we're pretty much all in, aren't we? It's too
Yeah,
late for us to
yeah.
say I've changed my mind. I
I
don't
can't
want
go
to.
back.
I'm now going to be a Call of Dragons guy. Can I take all my stuff over? And Lilith will say, no, 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 you can't. Right, change
Can
my
I transfer
mind.
my account? Yeah.
Oh, well, I appreciate you getting up. So just to put it in context, Mr. Boba here has got up at 5:30 in the morning for this. So this is dedication from the West Coast for you. I really appreciate you taking the time. I will leave links to your channel and videos, which I encourage people to check out. Your editing skills and of course your narration which is really good. You can tell you're an author, a storyteller. And I really do enjoy watching your videos, and I'm not just saying that because you're here. Although if I I would just say it if you were here anyway. So I guess I could be talking about anyway. I'll move on. Thank you very much for taking the time, mate. I will let you go. Any closing words to your adoring fans?
Oh man, I like watching Greg
No,
anytime.
we'll leave it there. Brilliant. That's a fantastic final word. Boba, appreciate your time, mate. See you all next time. Thanks again to all for watching. Ciao for now.